Hello, beautiful souls. I am the magical medium, and welcome to my channel. I have a little gift for you today. Blessed Yule. A little glitter. Little glitter never hurt anybody. Oh, I don't know. I think maybe we need a little more glitter than that. Do we need a little more glitter, fairies? We need a little more glitter, a little more glitter. Yes, a little more glitter. Oh, I love it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, our pick-a-pile reading is brought to you by the last quarter / third quarter moon. And this is the last quarter moon of 2021. In real time, it is Monday, December 27th, 2021. Blessed Yule. We are still in Yule season for those of you who celebrate it. And happy holidays to everybody, because there are so many holidays and things that have been going on. I too have been wrapped up in a lot of things. I wanted to do more readings, but my personal life called and I had to tend to it. I had to work through shadow. I had to work through light. I had to work through a remodel of my home during Christmas, which is not fun. It's been a very interesting month indeed. So this moon cycle has been not what I anticipated, but everything I needed. And I hope that it's been the same for you. So on our last quarter moon, what we are going to be working with today is transition and forgiveness. What do you need to transition out of, or into, or all of the above? Maybe for some of you, you need to transition back into something that you were, or I heard the word was from Spirit. Maybe there's something that you used to do and you got off track and it's time for you to go back to it. Maybe you need a confirmation. Whatever it is, it's different for all of us. This is a mass reading, so take from it what you need, leave behind what you don't. One of the best things that have ever come out of pick-a-pile readings, because it's so true. Not every single message will be for you. Okay? So also, we're going to talk about forgiveness. What do we need to forgive? Ourselves? Someone else? What's going on in our lives? Where does the forgiveness lie? Right here before you is the Seasons of the Witch Oracle. I was blessed with the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle, and it's one of my favorite decks, so when I saw the Yule, I knew I had to have it. Like I said, I wanted to do more readings. We did the musical reading, Pick-a-Pile, with this and the Nightmare Before Christmas deck that was gifted to us by another tribe member. Thank you, Anna. But I wasn't called to use that deck today. But I highly recommend you check out the musical readings. The musical readings are challenging. If you're called to the musical readings, there's many reasons. It could be because you're a musician. It could be that you're a really powerful medium, and it's like you're in baby witch maybe right now, where you're just waking up to who you are. If that is the case, then that may be good for you, because the musical readings, we use a lot of different cards and it's about the imagery. Some of you know tarot, some of you don't, but the musical readings are not for everybody. So if you don't get it or you don't feel like it's you, that's okay. But if you did like it or you wanted to know more, I put a link below in the description box. I'll put a link below here for the musical pick-a-pile reading that I posted, but then also head on over to my Patreon channel, and if you feel pulled to, you can join. It's $13 a month, and I post a lot of things. This last month I didn't post as much because there were only 3 of us, and we did a lot of intense work. We had a 28-day challenge in August. We had another challenge at the beginning of fall, and then we had a gratitude challenge as well. And sometimes when we do really intense things like that, Spirit may have me pull back, but I'll always be doing readings on the Pick-a-Pile channel, at least for now. I don't know what's going to happen or which direction they're heading me in. I've been doing a lot of writing and focusing on books right now, so whatever I'm, most of you know, who have been with me for a while, know I literally go with the flow of Spirit. I am just a vessel on a channel here as the go-between between humanity and the outer realms. So it moves very quickly for me because I move quickly like the energy moves. And if you have grown more into this energy, Spirit wants me to pull this. I don't know why, but some of you are intrigued by this candle. For some reason, they asked me to move that, so feel free, look at it. Isn't that cool? It's like an old vintage handmade mosaic. Anyway, whatever you're pulled to do, is what you're, you know what I mean? Like if you're meant to join, then you're meant to join. But just go and check out my Patreon channel, see what's on there. I'm going to be doing a lot more posting of free stuff on there. If you've been on my channel for a long time, you know I used to have my real talks and tribe readings and all that. You notice they're not on this channel anymore. That's because Spirit is moving them over to my Patreon channel. I'm like, it's kind of like under construction. I should just put under construction. Maybe I'll do that today. I'm going to do kind of a blast off after the new year. I don't know exactly what day it's going to be. I'm going with the flow right now. And like I said, I'm going through a lot of massive things with myself right now, a remodel of my home. So there's just a lot of things that have been happening. Also, I live in the Mount Rainier Valley, and the weather has been quite fun. I've enjoyed the snow. It's been amazing. But, 14 degrees when you're living in a camper is not super fun, no matter how insulated you think it is. So it's just, there's been a lot of challenges for us. And, it is what it is. I don't want to blather on too much about my personal life. This is more for you guys. Those of you who have been with me for 4 years know that my channel is completely different and it's evolved greatly. So all of my nature videos, all that stuff, everything is going to move over to my Patreon channel. It's still going to be free, but I'm still figuring out how we're going to do that. Spirit and I are working on doing a lot of different things. Okay, so just wanted to keep you in the loop for those of you who were wondering what was going on right now. I'm going to say thank you to White Feather Tarot because lately Spirit's been having me like grab little things from different readers. So it's interesting. I'm not sure why. I feel like we're just kind of evolving, but I don't normally pick the piles this way. I normally pick the piles in a completely different way. So for now, we are going to put these here. I'm going to put the piles. So we're going to move the Seasons of the Witch. Also, how cute is this Yule log? My beloved husband actually put this together, and so cute. He knows me so well. Okay, so pile number 1. We'll move things around here. I normally use live stuff from my, I live in the Pacific Northwest. I don't have to fake this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I meant the shrubbery and all that, but they were really adamant about me using that this time. So, and it's interesting because it's so snowy outside, probably because it would have been a watery mess. Okay, so that was pile 2. Now we have pile 3, and I'm going to move this over. So pile 1, maybe it was the way the card flipped. Maybe it's the number. Maybe it's I know it's all the same imagery, but maybe it's where the light's hitting it. Which pile are you drawn to? Maybe it's that gold pine cone to the right, and you're like, what's going to be there? That's the one I want. Like whatever you're meant to do, whatever is meant to be. Ooh, pile 4 is stubborn. You're being stubborn, pile 4. What's going on? Okay, interesting. Pile 4. What are you having a hard time transitioning out of, or forgiveness? What are you not wanting to forgive? What is it? Even now, look at it. It's being super stubborn, like the lights and everything. And I'm like, what's happening? What's going on, pile 4? Well, just know that you are loved just the way you are. You're loved just the way you are. Okay, you guys, so this is a little unorthodox, but we've got pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4. Also, did you notice my snowflake tattoo trying to sneak in there? All right, you guys, I love you so much. Blessed holiday season. Happy New Year. And whenever you watch this, it's timeless. And just know that I love you. All of my information is below. And if you'd like to book a personal one-on-one session with me, my email is themagickalmedium themagickalmedium@gmail.com. And it's magical. Look at the spelling in my name. Okay, so it's all one word, themagickalmedium@gmail.com. Okay, I'll see you at your pile. I love you. Bye. Oh my goodness, I almost want to title you Precious Pile Number One. I don't even know how to explain it, but I just got the most beautiful energy going over my body where I'm like, oh my goodness, I love you guys so much. And when I looked down, it was 1013, so if that means anything to any of you guys. It could just go, if you took the 0 out, it could be angel number 113. Either way, you can look up that information yourself. So without further ado, let's see what is in your transition and forgiveness energy. Ooh, contemplation. Interesting. This is really interesting. So it says, let's get this in here where you can really see it. I apologize for the flash. I just don't have fancy software. Okay, it breathes in the stillness of all that is, exhaling all that isn't, coming from the ends of the starts and the highest of the lows. Here I gasp for the answers to unfold. So I'm getting that you guys are, you're not really sure. It's interesting. I tried to move the card and they said, don't you dare. And look at the way the sun is coming in. Where I live, it's so cold right now. It's like 20 degrees outside, and we've been in a snowstorm, which has been super cool and beautiful, but it's so lovely that we have some sunshine today. And that's what I said. I'm like, I just got this really cool vibe about your pile. Like, you guys are just so sweet and kind. And when I looked down, it was 1141, which is also the number 7. So you could be a life past 7. But the reason why they wanted me to leave the card exactly where it was not just for Ra shining his beautiful masculine warm solar energy your way, because I'm feeling like, you know, a little bit of depression coming from some of you, but also if you notice that they specifically have the light at the feet, and I heard grounding. And also they're saying, if you look at the word, the way that the light is hitting the word, they're trying to show us, like it says contempt, but it almost looks like the word content. Oh, by the way, I just looked down. I did not even notice this. You guys might have, but look at it's number 7. Isn't that interesting when I said that about the number? So that definitely means something for some of you guys. But yeah, I want to get to the, this is a new deck. And especially when we have these new decks, I like to, I'm going to put this over here because we're going to be pulling more cards, I have a feeling, for your pile. But I love going into the book and seeing what they have to say, right? Because it's your story through the eyes of, you know, the creator of this deck, right? So they channeled this energy knowing that at some point you were going to hear these words. And I think that in some of these books, they're so well written, especially by this artist, this creator. There's 2 creators here, Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. So, and it's illustrated by Giada Rose. So just a beautiful deck. But I just think it's really important because they obviously channeled this for a reason. And I feel like Spirit wants you to see the word a little bit more. Oh, but I guess not. They just wanted the light there. Ooh, it's almost like they're trying to light a fire under your ass. I love when they move things around. I am really just the vessel. I just sometimes, that's why I laugh, because it's so fun for me too. Like I feel like thank you so much. Like it is a privilege for me to read for you and to do this and be a part of your journey. So the key words from the book are reflection, review, and lessons learned. And how beautiful in this last quarter moon energy that we are talking about transition and forgiveness. I mean, that's a really big deal, you know, because after this, then we have the waning crescent, which is rest and restore, until the new moon, which is new beginnings, which will be January 2nd. So if you're watching this in real time, you know, I feel like this is spirits trying to light a fire under your ass to say, okay, it's time, you know. And I feel like for some of you, you've been like, Spirit, I need more time. They're like, we get it. And you know, obviously they always want us to go at our own pace, but at the same time, when I looked down, it was 1441, which is also the number 10. And 10s are about endings and new beginnings, right? 10 is an ending, take off the 0, 1, new beginnings. You know, over these next few days and over January, they're not saying like, ready, set, go. Like, one of the things I've always loathed about New Year's Eve, to be honest, it's one of my least favorite holidays. And not because of, you know, I love the new beginnings and all that stuff. But the thing about it that I'm not a huge fan of is this kind of like, you know, commercialism of like, oh, it's a new year, it's a brand new you. Like, okay, you just like ate and drank over the holidays and like had a really good time, smoked, whatever, you know what I mean? Like whatever you're doing, whatever you were doing, but right, like maybe you were in excess and you're having a really good time, you enjoyed yourself on the holidays. Well, then all of a sudden it's like, bam, now you're what? It's New Year's, now it's brand new year, and like you're supposed to just like go to the gym the next day and start over. It's like, no, we kind of need to decompress from that energy. This has been a really rough year. I feel like January, you know, especially in the northern hemisphere for myself, and those of us who live in, you know, that kind of winter energy, right? Like it's snowing outside, it's 20 degrees. I'm like, the last thing I want to do right now is like put on my stuff and go to the gym. I just had an enormous year, and you know, I'm going through all these personal things, right? So I need time to like rest and release and let go of that, to go into the contemplation energy of like, okay, what happened in that last year, to take the moment of reflection, to look back and say, to review it, right? And say, what happened in the last year? What was really good for me? What wasn't so good for me? You know? So I'm hearing from spirit to don't put that energy on yourself of, you know, who you should be, or, you know, what someone is saying you should be. They're saying, no, it's more like a who you could be, right? Not who you should be or who you're not yet. It's more of like who you could be, and why not allow yourself to just figure that out, right? Instead of trying to, you know, ready, set, go. That if you're that person and that works for you, they're saying, sure, that's lovely. But not all of you are, right? Like some of you, you know, you move a little slower. You know, in my experience with fairies, right? You guys don't move at the same pace as others. Not saying all of you are fairies, but I'm feeling a very light fairy energy from this pile. Either way, you're givers. And so if you're constantly giving, right? If you're constantly giving, it's like, what are you to others? Like, what are you giving to yourself? So the book says things naturally slow down during the cold months, making winter a prime season for contemplation. When days are short, nights are freezing, and the outdoor options are limited, there's often little else to do but think about your life. It's natural to examine how your life measures up to your idea of success, and reflection is a critical. Let me start that over. It's natural to examine how your life measures up to your idea of success, and reflection is a critical component to any successful path. But I feel like Spirit wants me to throw in a however. There are times for planning and times for action, but reviewing your progress is how you learn and change course when necessary. You're being guided to reflect on your situation, and there are things you could have done. Are there things that you could have done differently? Is there still time to change your situation for the better or salvage anything after the damage? Knowing where you can improve will help you to be better prepared should you find yourself in this situation again. Contemplation can also be a boost to your self-worth. How do you succeed in this situation? Are there any things you can pat yourself on the back about? Acknowledge your shortcomings by making a plan to do better next time. And celebrate your wins because you deserve it. Yes, you deserve it. I'm feeling at least one more card for you guys. So let's see. Are there any more cards for this pile, Spirit? Do we have any more messages in the transition of forgiveness? Any more, maybe some clarifiers for some people who they're not sure 100%? Although I heard from Spirit, intuition, whatever you thought or felt first. Ooh, I love this. Oh, Hearth, beautiful, number 19. Oh, I love it. May your warmth take in the gazing flame, upon the shivers they melt away. Yes, and for some of you, if you live in a warm climate or you live in the southern hemisphere, you know, you're going into summer, right? Or for some of you, live in summer all year round. But they're saying, you know, contemplation and the hearth and all that is in the mind and the heart and the soul. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, you know, and that kind of energy. It's just, this is the Yule deck, right? So, and I also like that, look at how their gaze is down, almost like looking straight into the fire. And they're saying, oh, for some of you, oh, I'm hearing fire scrying. I'm going to start posting little shorts. You know, when Lula's Labyrinth was just Lula's Labyrinth, it's transitioning over to the Magical Medium. It will be officially the Magical Medium next year. But when I was doing that channel, I did a lot of different scrying, which is another reason why you may want to go check out my Patreon channel, you know, and if not now, after the new year, because it's under construction right now, but it's going to be a whole brand new place, my Patreon channel. And because it's free to go on there, I'm going to have a lot of free stuff, and I'm going to have, you know, obviously to paid member for readings and classes and things. But there are so many things that I started to realize with this tribe, and why I was like, why aren't the numbers growing faster? Or why isn't this blah, blah, blah? And they're like, because it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And this tribe is filled with really, really, really powerful, powerful healers, light workers, spirit warriors, you know, and even those that aren't necessarily light workers, but they're like here as human warriors. Like they're the ones that are like fighting for human rights and fighting, you know, for certain things. You know, and so I started to get this vibe from spirit that, you know, it's time for all of us to like really, you know, come together and weed out all of the things that no longer serve us, and also not just that serve us, but weed out the energies and the people that are blocking or standing in our way, and not in a negative way like there's anything wrong with them. It's just that we're all at different levels of consciousness. And so if you found yourself to this channel, to this reading, most likely, you know, you're here for a really greater purpose, because every shaman I ever worked with told me that. They said, you know, you are here to wake people up, you are here to heal the healers. And I don't heal anybody, right? I can only heal myself, but I am here to lead you to the breadcrumbs for you to help you find your way back to your truth, back to your center, back to who you are, why you are here, like what your purpose is. So in this reading, I feel like the transition and forgiveness for you is to really pinpoint, you know, what it is that you know you need to transition out of, and what it is that you're ready to forgive and let go of, so that you can become the light worker that you came here to be. So the keywords for the hearth are warmth, light, and fire energy. Ooh, yes. So, and also for some of you, you may be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or you're dealing with those people, or maybe you weren't sure who this was about, and all of a sudden I said that, and or spirit channeled that through me, and then ping, so you got a name or a person, or, you know, or it could be an image of, you know, a toy from a childhood. You know, we just never know. It's so different for all of us. It could be, it couldn't, or could possibly be that it's not even a person, place, or a thing, but a memory of a situation or something that happened that may not have seemed really big at the time. Maybe it seemed trivial, but Spirit's saying there are no trivial moments, right? Like even when it feels trivial, there is something that they are trying to say to you. There's some type of message that they're trying to convey to you. So this says, come, dear, and sit by the fire. Hearth comes to a reading when you are cold, rigid, or perhaps seeing things only from a logical perspective. You are being guided to warm your soul and to experience life from the heart. Your emotions don't care about logic or reason. The heart feels what it feels, and in this situation, your heart is wiser than your mind. Listen to your inner knowing to guide you. You may feel conflicted. Your mind might be telling you to be more practical, more responsible, or more sensible. This is your ego operating from a place of fear. Your soul knows what you need now and is letting you know through what you feel. Allow this wisdom to be heard, and that all will be well. It's also on page 74 and 75. And I feel like the snowflakes are really significant for you guys. I don't know if that means anything to you. I felt like maybe you want to take a screenshot of this. But I just felt this really powerful. I felt like no more cards, like you guys are good. It's almost like it's like there's your transition and forgiveness, right? Because they're two different energies, and I feel like these cards speak for you and speak to what you need. Also, and some of you, for some of you, I was getting like the color red, which is why the poinsettias wanted to come in and look at the cardinals. I want you to look up red cardinal, spirit medicine, and also poinsettias, because this card, it's a new deck, but I do remember that this is the poinsettia card and this is the ornaments card. So there's something in here for you with, you know, the Yule. Maybe see if I can come a little bit closer, if it'll come in focus. Do you see what I'm saying? There's something in this imagery for you. Okay? It could be the number of candles, 5. You know, 5s are all about, you know, challenge and hardship. It's about chaos. But also 19 is, you know, 20. That's number 2. It could be duality, but it's also like 19's ending is a new beginning, right? It's to 20, like the next set of numbers. All right, you guys, when I looked down, it was also 25, 25, and that is 7, 7. So I'm going to leave it here. All of my information is below. I'll see you next time. I love you so much. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Okay, so I'm going to say this again. If you didn't watch the intro, you really need to check out the musical pick-a pile. I'm going to put the link below because I accidentally saw card number 4 when I was shuffling them in front of you guys. And so this is pile number 2. Welcome, pile number 2. But I was just at pile number 1, and so far 3 out of the 4 cards. I haven't looked at pile number 3 yet, but I bet it's going to be in there. But all of these cards so far have been in the pick a pile, and I just feel like you're meant to go there to get like extra messages. And then if you're so inclined, I did a deeper reading. I put all the cards together from the pick a pile, and I did a mass tribe reading in 2 parts. It was incredible. Honestly, it was incredible. So that's on my Patreon channel. It's $13 a month. If you're so inclined to get that deep reading, it was honestly one of the best readings that Spirit has done in a long time. And we used this deck, and we also used the Nightmare Before Christmas deck that was gifted by a tribe member. So thank you, Anna. Anyway, so welcome pile number 2. This is really incredible. I'm feeling this tremendous, beautiful energy from you guys. I can't even, oh my gosh. So I'm going to pull this a little bit closer. And I love that I just noticed that the imagery that is in this card is their 3rd quarter moon. And this reading is the 3rd quarter moon reading about transition and forgiveness. So, wow. Some of you, it's interesting. Before I even go any further, Spirit is saying some of you have got to make peace with aging. Like, you're obsessed with it. Like, you're obsessed with your beauty. It's, and for some of you, they're saying it's okay, because I get the vibe that for some of you, like, you were considered, you called yourself the ugly duckling. Like, I'm getting this kind of energy. Like, right, I would never say that. Spirit would never say that to you. You're beautiful just the way you are. However, I get this vibe that you were somebody who had to work really, really hard to be beautiful. And, you know, this is about transition and forgiveness. Oh, number 8 too is on the card. And 8s are all about infinity. There's a lot been, look up angel number 8 as well if you're so inclined. But I just think this is so interesting. Some of you may be entering your crone, some of you may be in your crone. And just because it doesn't matter if you're male, female, whatever you identify with, crone is just an energy, right? Because we have the wise man in this deck, which is like the masculine form of the crone. And so, and which is funny because I said to my husband the other day, I said, isn't it funny how I was going through the deck. I just bought this for myself for my 50th birthday. I wanted this deck so bad, and I'm like, I'm getting it for my birthday because I'm December 13th, and I'm like, it just had to be. So anyway, but I was going through the deck, and I said, isn't it interesting how in the deck they're the wise man, and the crone is just the crone. Now, if you are into witchcraft, or if you honor the levels of the masculine and the feminine energy, you will know that there is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And the crone is, it's like if you put your life into thirds, right? It's like from the time you're born to this age, you're the maiden, to this age, to the, you know, this age, you're the mother, and then, right? And then from this age to this age, you're the crone. but it's really just an energy. And I love how the glitter is like sparkling off of the crown. And but I was kind of mad at first, because I was like, this is made by 3 women, and I thought, this deck, at least their names are, they're come off as, you know, the feminine energy. But I just thought it was, and nothing against them, I love this deck, but I just thought that was really interesting, right? Like, but it's not just them, it's like that's what it's been called. And I feel like that was a missed opportunity, because I almost wish that they had put like the wise crone, right? Because they had the wise man, and I was like, well, why didn't they put the wise crone, right? Anyway, that's just my own personal thing, not to dog them. It was more just like a interesting, right? Because I feel like as women, and also in the picture, the wise man is like almost like a Santa Claus looking energy. It's also in the musical Pickle Pile. You have to check it out. It's really good. But when you look at it together, I'm just like, it's just so funny. You know what I mean? Like, as a woman who just turned 50, I just think, and in entering my crone, right? I'm past menopause now. I'm entering my crone. I'm in my crone. I'm at the beginning of my crone. And I just think it's so interesting how women have been treated throughout history with beauty. And so Spirit is saying beauty really is in the eye of the beholder, and they want you to start remembering that, and that you're so beautiful and you're so special, and that you don't need to, for some of you, I'm hearing makeup, like you don't even want to wear it anymore, almost as if like, I'm going to balance this out, almost as if you feel like you're a slave to it now. And Spirit's saying, yeah, but you're the one that's you're the slaver. You know what I mean? Like, nobody is slaving you but you. So they're like, why are you enslaving yourself? Like, why are you enslaving yourself in this energy when you don't need to do that? Actually, I'm going to put that back and then just zoom in. Trying to, oh, isn't that funny? Because I'm like, what is that? And I realized it was an owl. It's in my, I have my cute little setup. I used these cute little bags from the dollar store. But isn't that funny? Talk about wise. I didn't plan that. I did not plan that. And most of you, if you have been here, you know me. You know what a perfectionist I can be. I'm working on it. But I just think it's so funny, because I was trying to get that out of the shot. So obviously the owl is your spirit animal, and they want you to work with Look Up Owl spirit medicine. So clearly they want to keep their eye on you. It's like the owl is like, I got my eye on you, right? And so this is grandmother energy saying, like, they got their eye on you, and you got this. You don't need to conform to like whatever beauty standard. And you were never an other. Freudian slip. You were never an ugly duckling to begin with. And I feel a really strong grandmother energy that's saying that. Ooh, I just got the chills all throughout my body. They're like, yeah. And my grandmother actually was really into owls too. So hi, Grandma. And drink some water. I'm hearing drink some water. That's my shungite in my water. Shungite, Shungite. It's an awesome, amazing, beautiful stone. Get you some. Keep it in your water. It'll help keep you healthy. Yeah, so I'm feeling fear from this group. I'm feeling a lot of different things that Spirit is like, they're kind of saying, no. Like, they're done with that, and you're done with that. There is no fear here. There is no fear here, right? Because look at, this was a real pine cone at some point, but they put this metal thing around it, right? Threw some glitter on it and made it, perfect, right? Quote unquote, holiday perfect. But, then you got yourself a pine cone over here that hasn't been touched. It has no glitter on it, right? It's obviously got some type of something on there that's tying it to that. I normally use real stuff, but Spirit had me use these today, and now I understand why, right? But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's like, do you like this pine cone more because it's glittery? Do you like this pine cone less because it doesn't have all the glitz and the glamour, right? Like, why is this any less beautiful than that? Because it's not all sparkly. Maybe it's time for some of you to take the makeup off. Right? For some of you, I'm hearing that you're also getting like irritations or breakout. I saw an eye irritation. I just noticed some rogue moss. I'm feeling that kind of energy for you. So you may want to, I don't know if it's it could be that you're using new products. It could just be that your higher self is just like, doesn't want that for you anymore. It's fun, to get dressed up or whatever. But, if you're changing and you're evolving, they don't want you to change who you are, especially if you're changing for other people, right? Like they don't want you to change for other people. It's like you are who you are, like you're who you're meant to be. So I'm reading from the book today because it's a brand new deck. And I mean, obviously I know about the Chrome, but this book is so beautiful, and I can feel how well it was divinely I wanted to say channeled, but then I heard challenged. So yeah, you're obviously being channeled. So your mission, should you choose to accept it. I have this one spirit guide I always call Ethan Hunt, because he's like dun 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 dun, like Mission Impossible. And Spirit saying your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to start taking a little bit off, a little bit at a time. Maybe you wore fake eyelashes and you're like, no, I need to wear those. And they're like, maybe start just going, wearing makeup, but more natural style makeup. Maybe that was just a part of who you used to be, right? Like I'm looking at the owl right now, and the owl, see how the owl has like, some like a piece of felt, or it's like a button or whatever around there, right? But it's like, maybe you don't need to hide behind that anymore. Ooh, did you just see that? And also, that whatever that was that just flew in front of it, I didn't see it here. I just saw it in the screen. I'm looking through the screen. But they just said also, it's like you're showing people like the real you, and no more hiding behind masks. So this says the keywords are wisdom, lessons, and honor. Thy wisdom befriends the honor in which weaves within blood, a harrowing call from the depths of your sacredness. The wisest among us are the ones who've lived and experienced life over many years. They are the ones who know where to look and how to see past illusions. They are the ones who greet us with warm eyes and tight hugs, who we know will love us no matter our faults. If you have a wise crone of a woman in your life, hold on to them dearly, for they have wisdom far beyond your years. Pulling crone is a sign to seek guidance from someone more experienced. Your situation may need another party to act as a mediator or to help you to see things from an unbiased point of view. It is likely to be a woman or someone with a womanly quality who will help you. This person can be a family member, but may also be someone who is not related, but feels like a mother, grandmother, or sister. Just remember, wisdom deserves respect and humility. When seeking knowledge, be willing to consider that you're seeking help because you do not know all the answers. I also think it's interesting that it's on page 48 and 49. As 49 is also the number 13. It's 1213. That's actually my birthday, which is really awesome for me. But 13 is the number of the witch. And so not all of you are going to align with this magic or this energy, but if you do, if you have been feeling like the witch energy, maybe it's time for you to find a group, a community. Some people call it a coven. I myself, I love having all of my witch friends and I love all my healer, my magicians, whatever title, they call themselves. I love all my magical friends, but I don't need to be in a coven. I'm also blessed to have my husband is also a light worker and fellow healer. So he is a psychedelic shaman with ayahuasca and mushrooms and things like that. So I'm blessed to have someone in my life like that. So maybe you're someone, that works well for you, or you could just be a lone witch, and that's okay too. Whatever you're going through. But I'm hearing definitely seek out, even if it's just one person who has like a divine crone energy who can help you. I just asked Spirit, we've been doing 2 cards for each pile for transition and forgiveness. And maybe this is for you because maybe you're transitioning into your crone. Maybe it's that you need to utilize the crone energy right now. It doesn't matter. You could be 8 years old and feel like a crone, right? If you've lived here many times. I watched something earlier today that just kind of fell into my path, but I realize now why. But they said something like, I don't think I've been human many times. And I loved their innocence and their humility about it, because some people are like, oh, I've lived 27 times. And I'm like, well, that could go many different ways. You may have lived 27 times because you still haven't got it right? Or it could be that you're living 27 times because you're here as a light worker, right? And you're tired. But that's part of your soul mission, is to work, more on this planet than other planets, or this part of the galaxy, or this part of the universe. You know what I mean? X, Y, and Z, whatever put in. It's different for all of us. This is a mass reading. But there's a lot of significance around the crone energy. Also, I just saw something that Betty White's going to be 100, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And so they're doing like this big birthday thing for her on TV, and I'm like, as they should. You know what I mean? Like, she's a fucking icon. Talk about a vessel, right? So, maybe there's someone like that, like in your life, that there's an old, or maybe if you don't have one, send it out into the universe. Ask spirit, say, please bring me, I want like a Betty White, I want like a crone. Like, I don't know why they had Betty White come in, but you know what I mean? Like somebody like that. Be like, I need somebody in my life, like a friend. I had someone that I needed really badly. I needed that crone energy in my life, and we flew together through many seasons, and then spirit was like, nope, you're going different ways, different paths. And I was like, okay, but I enjoyed having that energy. And I remember at one point I had this gathering, and I just thought it was so cool that I had people, from their 20s to her age. She was 76 at the time, which is also the number 13. And I just thought, how fucking cool is that? Like, that I have friends that are from the 20s to the, and I was in my 40s at the time, to have a friend up to 76. And I was like, that is what life is all about, right? Breaking out of our comfort zone, finding new community, finding new people. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, you beautiful souls. The darkest hour, number 9. Okay, that's really cool, because this is 8 and 9. It's also showing that you're in progression, right? You're moving forward. Also, before I even look at this card, or read this card, I have to tell you the moon cycles are really calling to me. So if you were called to this pile for the 3rd quarter moon in this transition and forgiveness phase, it could be that it's time for you to start really like going down your path as a light worker, and that it's your crone calling to you. Like, maybe you're in your 20s, but like it's your crone saying, like, this is the time for you to wake up, my dear, because time is linear and it's a man-made thing. People ask, they're like, how can I really do believe in Santa Claus. I've been watching all these things recently, and I'm like, I believe I believe in everything. I believe if we could think it, then it's real. And that goes for the dark side of it too, right? Because without darkness, without light, there is no darkness. Without darkness, there is no light, right? Like, we need the balance. And so for you, the transition and forgiveness is forgiving yourself for not being perfect. You don't need to be. I'm getting that. And whatever forgiveness, whatever came through for you is your message. But that one definitely came through. But I think it's interesting that I feel like that's also the transition and the forgiveness for you in that card. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just... hold on, Spirit. What are you saying? Right. And almost like you guys are like channeling it, like the darkest hour is a bad thing. And they're saying, look at how her hair is light and her hair is dark, right? It's like, you may look like this right now, or you may look like this right now, but it's like either way, it's like that is all encompassing who you are. And it doesn't matter if you're masculine, feminine, or whatever you identify with in this lifetime. It's like, it's not about that. Right now, it is literally about like you balancing your light and your dark and your masculine and your feminine. That's really powerful. That just came through. So the key words are longest night, abyss, and void. There in the void of thy darkness swells the shadow of the soul, swallowing the wickedness into the blackness of its wholeness. Oh, I love it. It's also in 50 and 51, which is so interesting, because we were just talking about the crone, and I was just talking about me turning 50, right? So, because I feel like that is when, you're going into the later part of your life. But I just do think it's so fucking interesting that it's like 50 and 51, because also we're in 2021. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless. But in real time, this is December 27, 2021, and 2021 is a 5, and 2022 is a 6. So I feel like for you guys, like everything, like it's going to be a good year for you, because 5 and 1 is 6. And, I'm just feeling goodness from this reading. Really good. Like, I'm feeling like maybe you got like a little bit of a spirit, like, hey, we love you. Like, stop being so hard on yourself, blah, blah, blah. But we have to give you a little bit of tough love. But then also they're like, but hey, look what's coming. So this says, light and darkness go hand in hand. Just as the day turns into night, the soul must also go through periods of highs and lows. A low is called the dark night of the soul, a period where you feel lost, confused, and removed from your spirit. Everyone will experience a dark night of the soul at some point, and you will likely experience many over your lifetime. It is common for the darkest night to appear during times of extreme stress and disruption. And while this process isn't pleasant, and you will undoubtedly lose something, things will be for the better when you emerge from the journey. The darkest hour has appeared because you are being asked to examine what is absolutely necessary for joy. Is it money? Is it love? Is it fame or respect? Imagine being free of it. The darkest hour reminds you that material things are not necessary for happiness, that happiness is something that is available to you with or without marital success. Ooh, marital Freudian slip. Oh shit. Does that like resonate with any of you guys? Marital, interesting success. But what they were trying to say was that happiness is something that is available to you with or without material success. You may feel as though you have to be where you are, but that isn't true. You are being guided to find true happiness within your spirit. Do not be afraid of change and do not be scared to let go. Doing so means you can see the light even when life feels hopeless. Self-focused happiness provides a guiding light when you are lost in the darkest hour. It will point the way home and help you to recover. That's powerful. Also, I don't know why, but they're having me show you this because this is like the last page it was on. So it was on page 52, but then also look at the next one, which is Dove Medicine. And I don't feel as if I'm meant to pull this card. I feel like you're meant to take a screenshot and work with this yourself. And the words on the card are the words that are below the card and above 53. So you're not missing anything as long as you can. Let me get in there. Hold on. Let me get this a better shot for you guys. Okay. Is that good? Okay, so forgiveness, freedom, and new beginnings. I mean, come on. Come on. We were just talking about transition and forgiveness, right? So in order for you to gain your freedom, you have to forgive whoever this is. Maybe it's yourself. Maybe it's the people who did this to you, right? I mean, I know one of the things my mom used to do that drove me fucking crazy, and I didn't realize how much it fucked with me and my weight and all that until I got older. But like, we didn't have a lot of money, but I would love something and they didn't have it in my size, but they'd have it like, you know, one below my size. And my mom would be like, try it on anyway. You never know. Sometimes the sizes aren't perfect. I'm like, okay. And I can't tell you how many times my mom would say to me, oh, look, you're like 5 pounds away or like 7 pounds away. Oh my gosh, just get it. And then that'll be like a goal thing for you to lose some weight. And it was like always this kind of like, you know, she was trying to be supportive, but like it wasn't really supportive, you know what I mean? It was just this, and then I felt this pressure to lose weight to get into this item, and you know what I mean? So I you know, I love my mom. I know she meant well, but you know, this could be, oh, I just got the chills. So that, you know, maybe I told you that story for a reason, because you needed to see like, you know, what's happening, you know, with your inner and your outer stuff. Hold on one second. Okay, I thought we were done, but we are not. The other pile we only had 2 cards, so those will probably be 2 videos. Anyway, so number 16, Frost. Ice cold melting in time, a frozen glance at what lies behind, what lies ahead, what lies within, and the chilling frost of thy undead. So I'm hearing from Spirit, no book required. The reason why they had me just pull this for you guys is they want you to really lean on the ancestors now. So if you are more in this, it doesn't matter what age or whatever you are, but they're like saying like to be in this strength and this power, it's time to go within. It's time to work through your shadow. And I can tell you, I've been going through the heaviest shadow work I've ever gone through in my life over the last several months. And every time I feel so good and I feel strong, like something else will come for me. But I'm so grateful that it does, because it just is just pushing me further and faster, and giving me so much more clarity. So Spirit's saying, light that candle, you know, speak to the ancestors, send, you know, your prayers out into the universe, ask them for help. We have the gift of free will here on this planet, and your free will is to ask for help. And Spirit is saying, like, they literally want you to ask for help. Light your candles, you know, build your altar, work with Spirit, and don't be afraid. I want to make sure we're not, okay, that's it. We're not gonna talk from the book today. All right, that's your little bonus card, pile number 2. I hope this helped you in any way. If you'd like to book a personal one-on-one, Peter picked a picker piper, one-on-one session with me, you can email me at themagickalmedium@gmail.com. The spelling for magical is in the heading of my channel. So, and all my information for my Patreon channel, all that good stuff is in the description box. I'm like, I don't even really care about that. Like, I just want you guys to have a beautiful, blessed holiday season wherever you are. And it doesn't matter when you watch this. Just know that I love you. Spirit loves you, and we got your back. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, pile number 3. You chose reindeer medicine. I have to tell you, I wanted to do a Christmas, like kind of Christmassy setup like this so bad. And I just got this vibe from Spirit to just keep it in the Yule. So you're the first pile that's like, you guys must love Christmas as much as I do. Because I was just like, ah. And it's funny because once I kind of figured out like where Christmas came from and Yule and all that, I was like, oh my gosh, it makes sense. So for some of you, I feel like you already know you're a witch. For others of you, I feel like you're waking up to your witch, or maybe you're waking up to your magician, your magic, whatever terminology feels good for you, light worker. For some of you, I'm getting the vibe that you're just a really old soul and you're just here to kind of focus on what transition and forgiveness energy that the last quarter, third quarter moon is trying to convey to you. So I am reading straight from the book. Well, I've been channeling, of course, but so far that's the only thing that really came through for you guys. And obviously that I would say the elephant in the room, but he's the jack in the box in the room, the Charlie in the box. If you've ever watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the animation, they go to the island of misfit toys. And he is a Charlie in the box because they were all Jack in the Box, right? But he was called Charlie in the Box, so nobody wanted him. So he was in the land of the misfit toys. And Spirit is saying, like, maybe for a long time you have felt like a Charlie, like you have felt like, you've been in a world of, you've been the misfit toy, you've been the misfit, the weirdo, the freak, right? Like, why are you so weird? Why are you so strange? And Spirit's saying you are exactly who you are meant to be. So, and maybe you're not even a huge fan of Christmas, or maybe it was just that you're, drawn to this pile because of Charlie, that, Charlie's an original. And it's interesting because this little ornament came through my, an old colleague and I. We worked at an organic clothing store, and we were trying to think of things for ornaments. And so she recycled all of the light bulbs. She saw something from it. So every bulb we used in the store, we made into ornaments. There's one there too. I have a lot of other ones. But anyway, I have the feeling you guys are angels, because there's many that were here, and this was in the back, and now look, almost like your wings are down, right? But Spirit wants you to put your wings up high, and you're worth more weight, you're worth more than gold, right? You're worth more than the weight in gold, or whatever that term is, right? Like, you're so special. You're meant to be an original and one of a kind. They don't want you to be in the background, right? Like, they want you to be like front and center and showing your angel. Where do you want to go? Put you back here. Right? Like, there you are. It's like you're supposed to be there. That's what they're trying to show you, that there's nothing wrong with you. You're not weird. And maybe like right now you're feeling a little tangled up, right? Like you can't fly. I once met this really powerful fairy witch. And when I met her, she was, I think, 5 or 7 at the time. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, all I remember is we were playing in the backyard, and I brought her some fairy dust, and we were playing pretend, so I thought we were playing. And I decided, to sprinkle some fairy dust on her. I said, where do you want it? She goes, on my back, so that my wings will grow. And so I was like, oh, okay. We were being playful and very childlike, right? I was having a blast with her. And then I put the fairy dust on it, and she was like, ooh, like literally I saw the vein on the side of her head, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I think she was 5 at the time. Now that I think back on it. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, honey. I was like, you're going to burst a blood vessel. I'm like, are you okay? I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm trying. She's like, I don't understand, Lula. She's like, what's going on? And I said, what? And she said, why can't I fly here? Because I hadn't met her before. I knew her mom. We grew up together, but we lived in different states. And so I happened to be home, and it was the first time I was actually meeting her daughter. When I left, she was pregnant. And then when the next time I saw her, was her child was 5, and she had another one too that was 3 at the time. And I had no idea the influence I was going to have on her. Neither did her mom. Like, we had no idea. But when she got off of the school bus, she was like running towards me. We'd never met before. Of course, my friend told her about me, but like, we had never met before. And she comes running towards me, and she just like hugged me, and she goes, Mama, she's a real fairy. She's a fairy like me. It was so cool. It was like that moment where I was like, whoa. And I just like looked at my friend, and my friend looked at me, and my friend wasn't really into that stuff, but she's like, I need you to help me, because like, she's like, my daughter like literally like does not think she's from here. She's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say to her. She's like, can you help her? So I had to like really ponder on that for a while because I had no idea. Like I could see in her face, like she was searching for me for answers. Like she was searching to me for answers to find out why she couldn't fly here. And I realized it's because she was still woke. You know, she was 5. Nobody told her yet that she couldn't be a fairy, or that she, you know what I mean? Like they let her be herself and play and be joyful and be a child. So maybe that's who you are. Maybe that's why the toys and the Christmas energy and the playful energy came into your reading, because, you know, also what came into your reading was the crystal ball. You know, it's like spirit wants you to remember who you are. We talked about fire scrying in one of the other videos, you know, but maybe you're a crystal ball scryer, maybe you're a fire. I mean, I can scry it with anything, so most likely you're the same. But there's just so much childlike energy here, and I'm getting the vibe from you too, like, right, like the reindeer medicine. I know that we're past Christmas now. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless. When I looked down, it was 5454, which is also 99, which is also the number 18, which is also the number 9. So obviously the number 9, angel number 9, is calling to you. And here it's 28 for the reindeer medicine, which is the number 10. So you're in a progression, and spirit's saying, you know, yeah, like do the things that you wanted to do when you were a child and see how you feel doing them now. We've been talking about this for quite some time on this channel. And then I watched something today where a light worker said the same thing. Like they had always wanted to, or they did this thing as a child, they hadn't done it in years, and they did it again. They're like, wow, I forgot how much I really love to do this. So spirit is saying, like, you know, don't sell yourself short. You know, this is jade and this is pyrite. This is a smoky quartz. This one I don't know. If you know, please. You're also one of the only piles that a lot of crystals and stones wanted to come in. This one I got a long time ago, and one of those things you think you're going to remember it because it's so rare, and now I just can't seem to find it anywhere. But it almost looks like it has some pyrite in there as well. So these crystals and stones are calling to you. Pyrite is really good for abundance. There's a lot of different things. So look up pyrite, Pyrite. And then this one's jade. I just think it's interesting. We've got all these things about money. So there must be something here. You know, what are you transitioning out of? What do you need to forgive? And forgiveness can be, you know, a forgiveness of self. It doesn't necessarily have to be for another person. You know, it could just be that you need to forgive yourself. Maybe you wanted to do this and you never did that. And Spirit's saying, like, don't live in like the past, right? Like, be who you are now. You don't need to worry about who you used to be, right? Like Charlie is just Charlie. Charlie can't be anything else. He wasn't made Jack in the Box. He was made a Charlie in the Box. He was meant to be an original, and you were meant to be an original. And the fact that the angel wings came in, you know, I said this in the other piles, you know, there's a reason why you were led to this channel. I am here to awaken. Oh, did you see that? I love when I can't see things like in person, but then I see something go across the screen. Yeah, right? Like those are your spirit guides. They're talking to you and they're saying like you are special. Don't, you know, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, you're an angel. It's not blasphemous. I said that to my mom. I'm like, I think I'm an angel. And she just like looked at me like I was the devil, because she's, you know, right-wing Christian. And it's like, you know, that is blasphemous for me to say something like that. I mean, I've even said to my mom a few times, maybe I'm Jesus. Like, maybe I'm like Jesus, Mom. I'm like, I feel like I'm meant to move this around for you guys, maybe to give you some like fun, playful energy. I don't know. But, you know, I said that to my mom. I said, what if I was Jesus and you were turning me away? I go, have you ever thought about that? You know, because she doesn't want to think about that. She only wants to go by a book. So maybe even for some of you, you know, you were raised a certain way. So you think this is against what you were raised to believe. Or maybe you are a really diehard Christian and, you know, whatever. But you have to remember, Jesus was an energy, an entity. He was in human form. So if you were drawn to that energy, you know, Jesus was all about love and compassion and forgiveness, but also Jesus was nobody's bitch, right? Like he was very powerful, and he wasn't just all love and light and sunshine, right? You know, look at all the things he endured. I mean, if it's true that all that happened to him that way, which I believe it is, you know, I mean, he like hung there, he was beaten, he was tortured. That's not going to happen to you in this lifetime. And maybe it has happened to you in other lifetimes, but it's not going to happen to you in this lifetime. And yes, there are places in the world right now that you could be killed or beaten or, you know, whatever, for who you love, who you fuck, you know what I mean? Like they're just having me add all these crystals. There's a clear quartz crystal. We're going to amplify that energy. But I'm just getting this kind of restrictive energy from you guys, like you haven't been able to be yourself, and Spirit wants you to say, you know, fuck that. Like, you are allowed to be anybody you want to be. You could be a Charlie in the box. You can look at your star is trying to hide, and Spirit saying, no, let that star shine bright. I made you this star for a reason. Stand up straight. You deserve it. You deserve all of the money, all of the accolades. You deserve it. And I hear you've worked hard for it too. Like, you don't give yourself enough credit for like how much you've done, how much you've given to others. And Spirit's saying, you know what? It's your turn now. They want you to have your turn now. So take it. Ooh, I just got the chills. Okay, so here is what your card says. Inner strength, journeys, fighting for your dreams. Yes! Journey into the depths of your soul, an awakening of sights revealed. It is time for no time at all, for all is presently here. Reindeer are hardy and majestic creatures. Unlike other animals, they are the only ones who keep their antlers all year long, carrying them like crowns atop their heads. They've earned the right to feel like kings, but as the saying goes, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Reindeer make long migrations every year through the harsh conditions of the tundra. They face challenge after challenge, yet they prevail and even make friends along the way. Reindeer are known to be openly cheery and often form relationships with humans, despite the challenging conditions in which they live. Reindeer medicine asks you, what responsibilities are you willing to endure in the pursuit of your dreams? Goals take work. Even with the cosmic forces behind you, you will still face challenges on your soul's path, no matter how aligned you are with your spirit. Reindeer medicine has come to your spread to tell you not to give up. The challenges you're facing now teach you how to be stronger and more resourceful, and to find ways to face your fears rather than running from them. Stay the course, for you are on the path towards success. You may not see it now with harsh conditions in your way, but you're so close to what you seek. This message is amplified if you have also pulled Candle Magic. Well, we are going to pull another card for you, so let's see. And in the meantime, I want to bring this card just a little bit closer. Let's bring this a little bit closer so that you can see your card while I shuffle the others. Reindeer medicine, reindeer medicine. And look at that. They're putting the light there. They're like lighting the path for you. Spirit's like saying this light is like them behind you. Oh, shut up. I swear to God, you guys. I swear on everything holy and everything that I am. And those of you who know me know. I mean, yes, I only shuffled a few times, but it like flew out of my hands. Candle magic. I shit you not. Number 2. Finger the spine and caress thy lips. Light the spell spilling from your grip. Oh my goddess. This is really, I've only played with this deck like maybe 4 times since I've gotten it, and I just got it a few weeks ago. It was a birthday present to myself. Okay, you know what? Hold on one second. You guys, the ancestors are seriously with us. Like, I cannot even tell you like what is like going through my body right now, but I just wanted to show you this one more time. Just like, seriously, this is when you know you are on the right path. I mean, look at that. This message is amplified if you have also pulled Candle Magic. So now we're going to go to Candle Magic. Okay. And it says, the keywords are intention, prayer, and hope. Oh, I love it. Perhaps more than any time of year, the holidays are perfect for lighting the night with candles. They are carriers for your intentions, invocations, and hopes for brighter days. It is common to light a candle for prayers and to represent the divine's presence in both religious and magical or pagan practices. The simple act of lighting candles reminds you that light can always be found, even in the darkest places, and that light will represent a hope that all will be well. Candle magic is burning in your spread to inform you that your prayers have been received. If you're seeking a positive sign for your situation, know that this is it. You must have hope for the things that will work out in your favor. Additionally, the cosmic forces that be are lighting a pathway for you to receive even more blessings in your life. Your spiritual support team is always with you and will show you the way when you cannot see it clearly. Receiving candle magic is a sign that you are headed for peaceful times. Oh, yay. And I just noticed the angel wings above. Like, look at the antlers and the angel wings. Also, this is a life spiral, like the life path, like the life spiral. You might want to look that up if you're unfamiliar with it. Oh, you guys, I love you, pile 3. Like, I love all the piles, but like, I'm rooting for you, man. I know it's hard to stay in a high vibration, but you have to balance it right now. When you're feeling upset, fucking get it out. We're in this third quarter, last quarter moon. It doesn't matter when you watch this, it's timeless, but right now we are in this energy. This is transition and forgiveness. You know what you need to change. You know who you need to forgive. It could be multiple things, multiple people, whatever it is. But I want to show you this, and I want you to take a screenshot of it, okay? Because this is your magic tip. So take a screenshot, and we'll put Charlie in there. Okay, carve an intention into the spine of a taper candle using a sharp object such as a needle or pen. You can try single words like wealth or protection to make it easier to fit on the side of the candle. Place your candle in a taper candle holder, and as you light it, say your intention out loud 3 times. Burn the candle down completely throughout the day. You can repeat the same intention after 28 days until your intention comes to pass. And can we just talk about 28 days and the number 28 on the reindeer medicine? What? Whoo! That, my pile 3, are your messages. I hope this helped you in any way. And if you'd like to book a one-on-one session with me, my email address is themagickalmedium@gmail.com. It is the way it is spelled in my name on this pile, because I use magic with a CK the old way. And also all of my information is in the description below if you'd like to have access to my Patreon channel, or if you'd like to donate any cards to the tribe or any monies to the funding behind this work. I thank you so much for your time and energy. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Bye, you magical wizards. Welcome, blessed pile number 4. Look at that. If you chose pile number 4, you chose the forest. On this beautiful third quarter, last quarter moon, we are talking about transition and forgiveness. All of the piles had their own little altar. If you're curious, you should go and just peek at all the piles and see how cool they all were. But yours is the only one that was wanted me to pull off like Yule, Christmas, very, very powerful. So I'm feeling this very heavy, old energy from you guys, very wise. This isn't your first time. In fact, as a lot of you know, and if you've never been here before, welcome. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff, and keeping us going and getting us out there. But I am a cannabis user, and I always sit in ceremony with cannabis before my sessions. But it's not very often that spirit calls me in to smoke other cannabis or more cannabis or whatever little cannabis cocktail before I start the reading. And yours was the first one. So you're the last pile of this reading, but it's almost as if you're off in your own world, which is kind of interesting, because if you look at the card, look at that witch. And I love the way spirit had me place it. I'm like, it's crooked. I'm like, it's crooked. They're like, it's not though. She's perfect. And tell me that that doesn't, the part of the branch looks like their broom. See what I mean? It's almost like you're coming from the forest, right? And you're heading towards this star, this light, I feel like you guys are coming out of shadow. So maybe you guys have been working through some really intense stuff. Not all the readings had this message, but I feel like for you guys, you're coming off a really heavy year. You're really powerful. What I'm getting is it's time for some solitude. So change, see, Freudian slip. There are no slips, right? Because I'm a channel. So if it's coming through, it means it. Even though we're talking about transition and forgiveness, it sounds like some change needs to happen. Because I'm also hearing that, even though whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but even though this is being performed in the third quarter energy, soon we will be in the waning crescent of the moon, which is the rest and restore, and then we will be on to new beginnings and the new moon, which is January 2nd. So it's really powerful. This is so interesting to me. I'm looking at this right now and looking at the moon phases for you guys. And it feels like whatever you're coming out of, it feels like you are transitioning out of. And also, you need to forgive the people. Like if someone, quote unquote, wronged you, fucked you over, hurt you, made you angry, like whatever, that's good, because that just means that it stirred something alive in you that needed to be awakened, right? We are all mirrors for each other. Some of us are bigger mirrors than others. Some of us are literally like, I know I'm like that as well. Like I'm a huge mirror for people. A lot of times I've heard people describe me and say, you either like her or you hate her. And that's really interesting. And I have found that people that quote unquote hate, I don't like to use such severity of a word, but I find that when people dislike me, it's usually because I remind them of something about themselves that they've hidden away, or something about themselves. They see the light and the purity in me, and that I am, really there for their greatest and highest good. I'm not there for any other purpose, but yet, maybe they're not used to somebody being kind to them. And so all of a sudden I'm an asshole, right? They're like, I don't like her. There's something about her. I don't like her. Well, I mean, ooh, look at that. We've been having a lot of spirits coming through here today. Damn, it's been intense. So I can't see anything out here, but when I'm looking through the screen, like through the camera, I see what you guys see, but there's nothing out here. So that's super intense. But I feel like your higher self is letting you know that, it's time to stop holding space for people. Especially, it's not a tit for tat thing, but why are you holding space for people who don't have the time for you? And they're saying, exactly, like whoever pinged for you, whoever you thought of first, whatever your gut told you, don't deny it. The thing is, we try to deny it and question ourselves. But the sad thing is, we're not denying and questioning ourselves. We're denying and questioning. I'm just rearranging. We're denying and questioning something about somebody else. Like if there's an energy that feels off, Spirit is saying, listen to that energy. Your witch is trying to fucking fly you out of that, right? But I love that you're staying close to the ground, man. You're staying grounded. You're staying close to the ground, which is where you need to be. Grounded, away from people. It's time for you to bring your magic in. It says, it is without question a place of mystery, whispers of power you've forgotten. Let thy strength crawl from beneath the ground and remind you, dear child, you are magic. You are magic. You are magic. You're like pure magic. I mean, look at this. These little stars. I've had this for a few weeks and they haven't come into the reading until today. It's like, yeah, it's like, wake up wherever you are and meet the, fine lady who fell from a star. Remember that from The Wizard of Oz? Like, dum, 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 do, 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 do. And Kansas, they say, is the name of the star. So, yeah, it's like wherever you come from, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're from a small town in Kansas, if you're from Istanbul, it does not matter where you come from, how old you are, what color you are, what gender, what sex, none of that shit matters. This is a whole new world, right? Like we are in a brand new world, a brand new space. It's time for the magic inside you to embrace. Look within, look without, but everywhere you see, without a doubt, know that you are magic. And that was you channeling you. That was you rhyming, reminding you who you are. Some days I will rhyme all day long. And I will laugh and I'm like, oh, that's my witch, right? Like she just wants to be heard. So for some of you, I'm hearing writers, I feel like for some of you, it's time to fly out of the cave and it's time to write. Like maybe your going inward isn't so much of an introspective thing. Maybe the last year has been that for you or the last lifetime has been for you. But now you're like, no, I know so many people right now who are self-publishing. It's really cool. It's really powerful. So look into different formats. There's a lot of things that you could do that are not that much money, or some things, I don't know if they're fully free, but there's a lot of things out there for you to be able to create on your own without worrying about sending it to a publisher or whatever. Or, if you want that, if you need that, if you're wanting to do a book series or something like that and you want a mass production, well, then call it into your orbit, call it into spirit and say, this is what I need right now. This is, what I want to do. And if it flows freely to you, then it's time. And if it's not, then it means that you're either still in the incubator period or it means that, you still have other things to do. And I was hell bent on this novel. I've been working on a novel for a novel series. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been almost 3 years. And now I understand why it takes long. Now, some people can put out one really fast, and probably once you get out the first one or first two, maybe it's easier. I don't know. I've actually jumped to other books in my series because, not that I'm bored with that, but I'm like, there's more to that, but I don't know what it is yet. So don't force it. Maybe there's something else you can do with your writing. If maybe it's something you want to do for a living to make money, and Spirit's saying, yeah, but like maybe it's for writing for magazines. Maybe it's for, writing copy for video games. Maybe you love video games, whatever it is. But there are so many different forms of writing. So many different forms of writing. I remember years ago, one of my nieces wanted to take journalism in school, and she's like, oh, well, newspapers are a dying breed. I was like, yeah, but people are always going to want a story, or people are always going to want to look for something, and and I don't know what she's doing now, but the last time I spoke with her, she was writing, she was still writing, but in a different capacity for like a huge company that she really loved. The people, she loved the job, it was good money, so, maybe just to pay the bills, you're doing that kind of writing. My ex was an amazing musician, but while he was trying to quote unquote make it, he worked as a studio musician where he would get paid X amount of dollars an hour to go in and lay down tracks for, whatever, I mean, I had a friend once who actually did voiceovers for sexual like favors, like for like one of those. This was like 20 years ago. I don't encourage certain things now, but you know what I mean? It's like that's nothing they thought they would ever do, but it was kind of harmless. It was like softcore porn. It was like more of like enticing to get people to like come to the site. But we would just laugh at the scripts that they had to learn. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. But I'm like, but it was really, really, really good money. So, sometimes Spirit's saying, don't sell your soul for the money. You know what they're saying? Like, it's not about selling your soul. It's about broadening your horizons, and maybe like, don't be so laser focused, maybe, take away from that one thing, put it away for a little while. Because the truth is, every time I put certain writings away, now I'm working on several books. And I think it's more fun this way because they're like worlds, and I get to go into that world for a while. And I can go in, well, listen, I heard need to, Freudian slip. I need to go into that world for a while, right? But that's true, right? Like, because maybe you need to go into that world for a little while to escape what's going on the planet here. It has been fucking hard for everybody on different levels. Now they're putting up another like thing, another fear tactic. And, sending people back into their caves. They're terrified, going back on their phones. And, instead of interacting with people, there's just so many things that they're going to keep doing and throwing our way to throw us off our path. And Spirit's saying, even if you have to fly solo, like this beautiful witch here, even if you have to fly solo, then you fly solo. You have friends, you have community. If you don't seek them out, seek them out. If you're really into crystals, go to a local crystal shop and see like what's going on there. If they don't have a community or group, ask if you can start one. Put up flyers, be ambitious, right? It says, it is without question a place of mystery, whispers of power you've forgotten. Let thy strength crawl from beneath the ground and remind you, dear child, that you are magic. So I'm going to read the book because I'm reading the book. Spirit was called for me to read the book, but also just because it's just awesome. Okay, so strength, patience, grounding. It's time to dig deeper roots. Find your sacred soul and build a stronger foundation. Walk through any forest and you will see ancient trees reaching high into the sky. But they didn't start off this way. Delicate roots had to dig deep into the earth to prepare these massive trees to stand tall for years to come. Even harsh winters and brutal storms couldn't bring them down. Forest guides you to build a stronger foundation and to remember that success takes time. Be consistent in your efforts and gather your resources, plan and reflect. Your goal is not something that can be achieved overnight, but it is on the path to success. The forest card represents long-term planning. And I almost said planting, so another Freudian slip. So we'll say it both together. The forest card represents long-term planning and planting, but also lasting power and influence. Pulling this card is a positive sign that you will be recognized for your efforts and commitment. Furthermore, continue with what works. There's no need to take risks at this time. It's also on page number 64 and 65, which is 10 and 11, which is also 111. So you may want to look up the angel number 111. Okay, we're going to pull another card, my beautiful souls. But do you hear what they're saying? It's like, I remember I was like, oh my gosh, this book is writing itself. And yeah, and I was like, and it was on a roll. And in like 8 months, I wrote almost an entire, I had like 3/4 of a novel. You know what I have now? Who knows? Because I'm gonna have to dissect so much, because I'm realizing I was bleeding other books into other books and other stories. You know what I mean? Because I'm a first-time writer and a first-time novelist, and I don't always share this information with everybody. My personal information, I'm pulling it back onto my Patreon channel, but I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that I'm with you. I tend to control or be impatient or put any label on me. But I am learning that it really is the beauty of patience and the beauty of struggle and strife. Not that we have to live in struggle and strife, but I'm saying it's through those moments that we become the bright shining star that we were meant to be. So hold tight, star, hold tight. It's just, timing is everything. And I say this to myself as well, because timing is everything. So because we're dealing with two energies, we are dealing with transition and forgiveness. Spirit called me to pull 2 cards for each pile. Number 33. Oh, look at that, number 6. Can you even number 6? 15 is 6. 33 is 6. Right now in present time, we're in 2021. That's a 5-year struggle, chaos, strife. But you know what's after that? Number 6. Success. Working hard. We were achieving our goals, right? And listen, I just heard somebody pull into the driveway. There's multiple people on the property that live here. And I feel like that spirit saying, hold on, because 2022 is going to be your year. And look at how it says snow. I am surrounded in snow. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Hold on, because I really want to show this to you. They're asking me to show it to you. Hold on. I don't know if you can see it or not. Can you see the snow? I don't know if the flash is on or not. But, oh my God, did I just show you the back of my house? No, did I? That's hilarious. I love it. Anyway, now you just saw the back of my house. Sorry, we're in conflict here. So see this? It's like 20 degrees is the high today. And we have no running water. Our place is a mess. We have to have multiple heaters and things to keep it going. Is this like the dream world I thought I was going to be in, right? So now you see, my set wasn't perfection. I made that from a dollar store bag. Sometimes we, oh, look at that. Look at, we have the archetypes, and we've got the witching hour candle and the Nightmare Before Christmas deck. I feel like, ooh, and the making magic to the left, and believe in your own magic. I mean, come on. And look at that, Father Odin. We've got goddess energy up there. What else is up there? Hope and love. Obviously, it wants to talk to you now. Hope and love. We've got elephant medicine, owl medicine. So we got frog medicine, whatever you're called to. This is real, you guys. You are magic. Believe in it. You have to believe it, right? Those who don't believe in the magic will never find it. There's a reason why that is said. So we'll bring Witchy back up here, because I think she likes flying high up in her spot. Look at that. I barely even had to, I mean, come on, that's awesome. I love it. Okay, so number 33, snow. Snow. I want to wash my hands, my feet in snow. You know that song from, I think, Holiday Inn? There is beauty in the divine that settles on thy flesh, a magical enchantment bestowed in purity. Look at that. Beautiful. And also, look at that. Do you see what I see do you see what I see? Okay. Do you see that though? It's like, I feel like you're coming out of shadow and you're going into light. Oh, this is really powerful. Pile number 4. Ooh, when I looked down, it was angel number 1225. So 1225, if you want to look that up, if that calls to. Hold on. So my human is mortified that you saw the remodel, like my ceiling all pulled out and everything. But that's the reality of it, right? Like, it's like, I was meant to show you that. I just wanted to show you the snow. But it just goes to show, it's like everything that happens is like exactly the way it's supposed to happen. I don't even know if you guys saw me. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Because I'm like, I got high before this. I'm like, I don't know and I don't care. I'm just the messenger, because it's not about that, right? It's not about being perfect. It's not about being, whatever. It's just about being yourself all the time in your magic, like flowing in it, loving yourself, loving all of those around you. The keywords say softness, patience, and allowing. Oh, I love this for you, Power. So it says, how beautiful is a white winter Christmas. It's as if the heavens cover the world in a blanket of purity and blessings. The air seems fresher, everything looks brighter and cleaner. When snow falls, it feels like little drops of wisdom are falling from the cosmos. Each flurry offers a chance to connect with the divine for wisdom and guidance. Water has long been associated with access to the spiritual realms, and snow's healing properties are similar. But water can be overwhelming, chaotic, a massive force. Snow is soft and pure and gently whispers, allowing its healing to settle lightly upon you rather than being overwhelmed by an enormous flood. Snow is falling on your spread as a reminder to soften up. There's no need to know everything at once, nor is there any reason to rush. Allow things to gently come to you over time. Operating from a place of force is when mistakes happen, or worse, you can end up running over everything and everyone in your path, causing more obstacles, heartache, and disruptions. Snow reminds you that force breaks more than it creates. Be gentle as you move ahead and trust that all will be revealed in due time. Wow, it's also on page 108, the back, and that's the number 9. You're so close. 9 means you're so close. You're almost there. You're almost there. So let it work through. Let it marinate. Especially for some of you who are coming out of the dark night of the soul, and you're starting to like awaken. I am with you right there. Like it's like I have days where I'm just like such a flea fairy. I'm super happy, and then other days where I am like the darkest, wickedest witch in the world, and you best get out my fucking way. And I'm just like, what is happening? And I kind of feel like this, and Spirit's saying that's okay, because that means we're going through change, and it's like we're coming out the butterfly, right? Like we can't let anybody else pull us out of our chrysalis. We have to pull ourselves out, because through this happy, sad, this is where we are going to find our true balance, right? Because it's okay to be happy and sad. It's good to cry. It's actually healthy to cry every single day, whether it's happy tears or sad tears or emotional tears, whatever. Maybe you watch a movie, you read something, you see a commercial, somebody says something to you, makes you happy, somebody says something makes you sad, right? But we are in control of our own domain. So look at that. Look to the forest for grounding. Stay close to the ground. And this winter, if it's summer in the southern hemisphere, wherever you live, either way, it's all metaphorical, right? It's about going and going inward and working with what makes you happy. What did you want to do when you were a child? Replay those times. I don't care if your favorite game was Operation and you want to go buy Operation and play it because you're like, like, because every time you hit the sound, you're like, that makes me laugh. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, it's the joyful, like the laughing, like the Tinkerbell clapping, right? It's all of that coming together to bring the magic back to you, no matter storm you weather, right? So those are your messages. I don't want to go any further. I feel like you've heard what you need to hear. I love you so much, blessed souls, my dears. All of my information is in the description below. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my email is themagickalmedium@gmail.com. The magical spelling is in the title of this YouTube channel. I love you so much. I'll see you next time. And maybe I'll see you at my Patreon channel. Till then, blessed be. Aho. I love you. Bye. And Happy New Year.